Most people think effort alone creates results, but science and the quantum field reveal a shocking truth. What you focus on actually shapes your reality instantly. Most people go through life believing that results come purely from effort, hard work, or relentless hustle. They wake up early, check their to-do lists, and push themselves to the limit, assuming that the universe rewards sheer persistence. But what if I told you that the real game changer isn't how much you do, but how you direct your attention? In quantum physics, there's a principle called the observer effect. It states that simply observing a particle can alter its behavior. That's right, your act of focusing, of truly paying attention, is not passive. It changes the outcome. And this isn't just limited to particles in a lab, it applies directly to your everyday life. Think about the moments when you've intensely focused on something, and the universe seemed to align almost magically. Perhaps you were searching for a new opportunity, a solution to a problem, or even meeting the right person, and somehow everything seemed to converge. That wasn't coincidence. That was the field responding to your attention. The quantum field doesn't measure effort. It measures coherence, intention, and focus. When your mind wanders, you're distracted by worry, doubt, or fear, your energy scatters. Your signal becomes weak, incoherent. The field mirrors that disarray, and your reality reflects uncertainty instead of clarity. But when your attention is deliberate, when you commit your awareness fully to one outcome, something extraordinary happens. Reality itself begins to shift in response. Your body, thoughts, and energy field align, creating the ideal conditions for manifestation. This is why so many people work tirelessly yet feel stuck. They are acting without observing. They are doing without focusing. They confuse busywork for creation. In contrast, those who understand the observer effect cultivate a precise, unwavering attention to their chosen outcome. They do not obsess, they do not chase, but they maintain a state of conscious awareness where the desired reality is already present in their perception. In essence, the observer effect teaches us a profound law. What you focus on expands, and what you ignore contracts. Your attention is your most powerful tool. It is the signal that collapses potential possibilities into a concrete experience. The moment you grasp this principle, your results no longer depend solely on effort. They depend on presence, clarity, and the intelligent direction of your attention. Most people underestimate how profoundly their focus dictates the reality they experience. They think that effort, hustle, and repetitive actions are the ultimate drivers of results. But in truth, it's your attention that carries the blueprint of creation. Imagine your mind as a high-powered laser. When your focus is scattered across worries, distractions, or multitasking, it's like turning that laser into a dim flashlight. It spreads energy everywhere but illuminates nothing in particular. The quantum field responds in kind. Scattered attention produces scattered results. The universe doesn't respond to mere wishing or thinking. It responds to the coherence of your focus. When your thoughts, emotions, and intentions align toward a single purpose, the field begins to collapse possibilities into the reality you're observing. In other words, the more precise your focus, the faster your desired outcomes materialize. This is why people sometimes experience sudden breakthroughs after moments of clarity or deep attention. They have effectively collapsed the potential into a tangible reality. Consider the subtle habits of highly effective people. They do not just act, they observe and direct. When they set a goal, they immerse themselves in it, visualizing it, feeling it, and aligning their energy with it consistently. But they are not frantic or desperate. They are coherent. Their attention is purposeful, like a conductor orchestrating an entire symphony. And just like a conductor guides the music, their focus guides the field, shaping outcomes in ways most people cannot even perceive. Contrast this with a scattered approach. Waking up, rushing through tasks, worrying about results, and constantly checking for signs of progress. This generates noise, a vibrational signature of doubt that the field mirrors back. The more scattered and anxious your attention, the more your reality reflects uncertainty, delays, and friction. The lesson is simple but profound. Where your attention goes, energy flows. And reality follows. This is the hidden power behind the observer effect. It's not about forcing results through effort or controlling every circumstance. It's about consciously aligning your attention with what you want. Focus is the bridge between possibility and reality. By cultivating deliberate, coherent attention, you move from being a passive participant in life to being an active creator. Remember, your mind can either scatter or converge. Choose to converge. Choose to direct your attention with purpose. The quantum field doesn't negotiate with chaos. It responds to clarity. When we think about creating results, most people focus on action. Do more, work harder, grind longer, society says. But quantum science and modern neuroscience reveal a startling truth. It's not just what you do. It's where your attention goes that shapes your reality. The observer effect, long known in quantum physics, demonstrates that simply observing a system changes its behavior. In real life, your attention acts as the observer. When you focus, you are not passively noticing the world, you are actively influencing it. Pure perception itself collapses possibilities into tangible outcomes. To understand this, consider how your nervous system processes attention. The brain constantly scans for patterns, predicting outcomes based on past experience. When your focus is scattered, your neural networks fire chaotically, sending signals of uncertainty to your body and environment. This incoherence is mirrored back to you through delayed opportunities, miscommunication, or repeated obstacles. Essentially, your scattered attention creates a vibrational signature that the field responds to. It's often keeping you trapped in loops of almost results. On the other hand, when attention is coherent, your nervous system stabilizes, heart rate variability smooths, brainwaves synchronize, and your body moves from stress and survival into flow. This is not just psychological, it is measurable physics. Your electromagnetic field becomes organized, like a finely tuned instrument. The field now reads your intention clearly, free from noise. Your focus becomes a signal, and the universe responds to that signal with precision. History is full of examples, both subtle and profound. Scientists, inventors, and innovators often describe their breakthroughs not as the result of brute effort, but moments of deep, sustained focus. Nikola Tesla, for instance, famously visualized inventions in his mind with perfect clarity before ever touching a single wire. His attention was so coherent that his ideas manifested with near-perfect accuracy, avoiding trial-and-error processes. Similarly, athletes and performers experience flow states, where every action feels effortless, almost guided by an invisible intelligence. What they are doing is aligning attention, body, and emotion, a living demonstration of the observer. Effect in action. But the key insight here is subtle. Attention is energy. It's not about constantly thinking, planning, or controlling. It's about aligning your emotional and mental state with the focus of your intention. Many people fail at manifestation not because their goals are impossible, but because their attention is inconsistent. They are flipping between doubt, distraction, and desire, sending mixed signals to the field. The quantum field doesn't negotiate with indecision. It mirrors coherence. When you align your inner state with your attention, reality begins to shift without forcing it. Practical application starts with noticing where your attention goes daily. Are you constantly checking for validation? Are you dwelling on failures or frustrations that is scattering? Instead, train your focus like a lens. Meditate on your goals. Visualize them with sensory detail. Feel the emotions as if they are already real. Then, Release attachment to outcomes while keeping attention clear and steady. This paradoxical combination of presence and detachment is what collapses possibilities into reality efficiently. Remember, attention is your most underutilized superpower. Effort alone is not enough. Hustle alone is not enough. What the quantum field responds to is coherence and observation, a consistent, aligned, and emotionally resonant focus. Master this, and your actions will amplify naturally. Obstacles will become transparent, and results will arrive in ways that seem effortless but are profoundly precise. One of the most misunderstood concepts in manifestation is the idea of detachment. Most people hear it and think it means giving up, letting go completely, or becoming passive. In reality, detachment is far more sophisticated as the art of observing without interference, of holding focus while releasing the desperate need for control. This is where the observer effect comes alive in practical, everyday life. The quantum field does not respond to tension, anxiety, or overinvestment. It responds to clarity and alignment. When you are attached, every thought carries an undertone of lack. Every action is weighted with expectation. This subtle vibration signals to the field, I am not yet ready. I am uncertain. I need proof. Consider the analogy of gardening. You plant a seed. Watering it, nurturing the soil, and providing sunlight are necessary. But if you constantly dig it up to check for growth, the plant suffers. It cannot reach its natural potential under constant interference. Your manifestations work the same. Weigh your attention, your energy, your focus. They are like sunlight and water. But the constant checking, doubting, or overanalyzing is like digging at the roots, disrupting the natural flow of creation. Detachment does not mean abandoning intention. Instead, it means aligning emotionally with the desired outcome while suspending attachment to the timing or form of its arrival. Neuroscience supports this. When your nervous system is calm, relaxed, and coherent, your brain shifts into alpha and theta waves, states of high receptivity, creativity, and intuition. Your heart rhythm becomes synchronized with your breathing, sending a stabilizing signal throughout your body. This physiological coherence broadcasts a clear, stable frequency to the quantum field, enabling it to respond with precision. Historically, this principle is visible in the lives of innovators, spiritual leaders, and high achievers. Albert Einstein often described moments of clarity and solutions, appearing effortlessly when he stopped overthinking and allowed his mind to rest in quiet focus. In spiritual traditions, Jesus spoke of living without worry while trusting in divine provision. In Taoism, the concept of Wu Wei effortless action emphasizes alignment over force. Across time, the pattern is the same. The most effective creation occurs when action is guided by aligned observation, not frantic struggle. Practically, detachment is cultivated through consistent inner work. Begin by noticing your impulses to force outcomes. When you feel anxiety, pause, breathe, reset your attention. Ground yourself in the certainty of what you desire without obsessing over when or how it will arrive. Journal, meditate, or visualize, but always return to a state of emotional balance. The goal is to embody the end result without clinging to external validation. This is the hidden law behind results that seem effortless, yet are astonishingly powerful. When your focus is coherent and your attachment is suspended, the field itself amplifies your intention. Opportunities, ideas, and synchronicities appear with uncanny timing. This is not magic, it is alignment, quantum mechanics, and neuroscience. Working together, the universe mirrors what you radiate. When you radiate calm certainty, you collapse timelines into the reality that reflects your inner coherence. The paradox is simple but profound. Effort without alignment leads to struggle. Alignment without effort is still passive. But effort, guided by focused detachment, creates unstoppable momentum. Mastering this is the threshold where ordinary results transform into extraordinary. Breakthroughs at the core of the observer effect is a simple yet revolutionary idea. Your perception shapes your reality. In quantum mechanics, particles exist. In a state of superposition, every possibility is simultaneously present. It is only when observed that the particle collapses into a single reality. In real life, your mind functions as that observer. The way you see, interpret, and respond to the world determines which possibilities become tangible outcomes. This is not abstract theory. It is a practical mechanism that influences every decision, interaction, and manifestation in your life. Think about your daily experiences. Two people can face the same circumstance, an unexpected job loss, a delayed opportunity, or a sudden challenge, and respond completely differently. One reacts with panic, fear, or frustration. The other remains composed, seeing potential and opportunity. The difference is perception. The first person broadcasts signals of resistance and scarcity. The second emits coherence and possibility. The quantum field mirrors these internal states, delivering outcomes that match the vibration. Being sent, in essence, your internal lens filters external reality. History and psychology provide countless examples of this principle. Thomas Edison famously reframed failures as essential feedback, not setbacks. Spiritual teachers from Neville Goddard to modern consciousness researchers emphasize that the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not mere desire, collapses probabilities into reality. In neuroscience, studies show that the brain constantly predicts outcomes based on past experiences and emotional biases. If your mind is fixated on what's missing, your brain organizes perception to reinforce that scarcity. Conversely, when your focus is anchored in coherence, curiosity, and possibility, your perception aligns with opportunities you might otherwise miss. This is why mastery of attention is essential. Observation is not passive. It is an active, deliberate act of collapsing reality toward what you intend. Yet, the challenge is subtle. Most people think they are focusing, but their attention is scattered by doubt, fear, or the endless noise of external influence. Social media, news, even well-meaning advice can fracture attention, creating internal incoherence. When this happens, your internal signal is weak, confused, and ineffective. The field receives a diluted intention, and the manifestation you desire struggles to form. To harness perception effectively, you must cultivate mental clarity and emotional alignment. Start by noticing where your attention drifts unconsciously. Are you constantly scanning for problems, outcomes, or signs? This indicates a reactive mind, which weakens your observer effect. Instead, practice mindful observation. Witness situations. Without judgment, respond with coherence, and intentionally focus on the outcome you wish to embody. Visualization and journaling can anchor this, but the critical factor is emotional resonance. Feeling the reality of your desired state amplifies the signal and ensures it resonates through every level of your being, mental, emotional, and physiological. The paradox of perception is profound. The very act of observing, when done consciously and coherently, accelerates the manifestation of your desires. You are not waiting for the universe to act. You are the catalyst through your focused observation. The more consistent and aligned your perception, the faster possibilities collapse into tangible outcomes. Master this, and ordinary experiences transform into intentional, accelerated creation. The key takeaway is clear. Your mind is not a passive recorder of reality. It is the lens through which reality is formed. Mastering this lens is the gateway to turning focus into measurable, practical results. Every thought, emotion, and intention becomes a signal. When that signal is coherent, the universe responds with precision. misalignment, distraction, or doubt, however subtle, fractures the signal and delays the outcome. Attention is more than just a mental activity, is energy in motion. Every moment you focus on something, your brain and nervous system emit measurable electrical and magnetic signals that ripple through your body and into the world. In quantum terms, attention collapses possibilities, shaping which outcomes are more likely to materialize. This is why the observer effect is so powerful. Your observation isn't passive, 'tis an energetic broadcast. What you give your attention to, consciously or unconsciously, becomes your reality. Most people misunderstand this principle. They believe they are focusing on their goals simply by thinking about them occasionally, repeating affirmations, or visualizing for a few minutes a day. Yet, without sustained and coherent attention, these efforts are like shining a weak flashlight in a vast, dark room. Energy disperses. Signals scatter. Manifestation struggles to take form. Your nervous system reacts to incoherence with stress and uncertainty, sending contradictory signals to the field. The result is delay, frustration, and the experience of almost opportunities that never fully manifest. Contrast this with deliberate attention. Historical innovators and leaders from Albert Einstein to Steve Jobs understood the principle intuitively. Einstein famously said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant." What he meant was that observation, guided by focused attention and imagination, reveals potential outcomes hidden from ordinary perception. Steve Jobs insisted on intense focus, cutting away distractions until he could direct energy toward the essence of creation. Their lives demonstrate the practical power of concentrated attention as energy, a direct conduit to tangible results. Attention is more than just a mental act, it is energy in motion. Every moment you focus on something, your brain and nervous system emit measurable electrical and magnetic signals that ripple through your body and into the world. In quantum terms, attention collapses possibilities, shaping which outcomes are more likely to materialize. This is why the observer effect is so powerful. Your observation isn't passive. It is an energetic broadcast. What you give your attention to, consciously or unconsciously, becomes your reality. Most people misunderstand this principle. They believe they are focusing on their goals simply by thinking about them occasionally, repeating affirmations, or visualizing for a few minutes a day. Yet, without sustained and coherent attention, these efforts are like shining a weak flashlight in a vast, dark room. Energy disperses. Signals scatter. Manifestation struggles to take form. Your nervous system reacts to incoherence with stress and uncertainty, sending contradictory signals to the field. The result is delay, frustration, and the experience of almost opportunities that never fully manifest. Contrast this with deliberate attention. Historical innovators and leaders from Albert Einstein to Steve Jobs understood the principle intuitively. Einstein famously said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant." What he meant was that observation, guided by focused attention and imagination, reveals potential outcomes hidden from ordinary perception. Steve Jobs insisted on intense focus, cutting away distractions until he could direct energy toward the essence of creation. Their lives demonstrate the practical power of concentrated attention as energy, a direct conduit to tangible results. Neuroscience supports this too. Studies show that focused attention rewires neural pathways, strengthens executive control, and amplifies intention. It shifts the brain into states of coherence where alpha and theta waves dominate, enabling creativity, insight, and alignment with larger possibilities. Conversely, scattered attention activates stress circuits, floods the body with cortisol, and keeps the nervous system in fight-or-flight mode. In that state, your signal is weak, inconsistent, and ignored by the universe. Energy always flows where attention goes. The quality and coherence of that attention determines the quality of your outcomes. This is why mastery of attention is essential for quantum creation. Start by cultivating deliberate focus on the here and now, anchoring your awareness in present. Action while simultaneously holding the vision of your desired result. Avoid constant scanning for validation or external reassurance. The universe doesn't respond to doubt or distraction, it mirrors the clarity and intensity of your observation. Practices like meditation, breathwork, and journaling train the mind to maintain coherent attention, allowing your energy to radiate steadily and purposefully. Another critical aspect is emotional resonance. Attention alone is insufficient if it is not accompanied by a vibrational match to your desired outcome. Feeling the reality of what you want while directing your attention strengthens your energetic signal, aligning body, mind, and consciousness. With the field, every thought, emotion, and sensory detail acts as a tuning fork, amplifying coherence or discord depending on alignment. Misalignment, even subtle, dilutes the signal and delays manifestation. The practical implication is clear. Your daily choices about where to place attention are not trivial. They are the architecture of your reality. Scattered attention builds chaos and incoherence. Focused, emotionally aligned attention builds pathways to tangible results. By learning to direct your attention consciously, you transform passive observation into active creation, making the observer effect work as a tool for deliberate life design. One of the most misunderstood aspects of quantum manifestation is the necessity of detachment. Most people believe that effort, pushing, and constant monitoring are required to see results. But the observer effect reveals a subtler truth. The more you cling, the more you interfere. Your mind, body, and emotions are constantly broadcasting signals, and when those signals are tangled with tension, doubt, or impatience, the field responds with exactly what you project: hesitation and delay. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means trusting the process while maintaining clarity of focus. Imagine planting a seed in fertile soil. You water it and care for it, but you don't dig it up daily to check if it's growing. You provide what it needs and allow natural laws to take over. In the quantum field, your attention is the water. Your alignment is the sunlight, and detachment is letting the unseen forces complete the work. Historically, the most successful creators understood this principle intuitively. Visionaries, inventors, and leaders often describe moments of breakthrough that arrived not during frantic effort, but in moments of calm observation and trust. Thomas Edison didn't obsess over every failed experiment. He allowed his focus and intention to operate within a larger system of trial, error, and insight. Detachment amplifies your energy. It removes interference, creating a coherent signal the field can respond to immediately. Neuroscience backs this up. When the nervous system is relaxed, heart rate variability improves, and brainwaves shift toward alpha and theta states. These are the states of creativity, intuition, and coherence. In contrast, anxiety and obsession flood the system with stress, hormones creating incoherence and diminishing the effectiveness of your observation. Detachment is not passive. It is a strategic alignment that strengthens your energetic broadcast. Emotion is the amplifier. Feeling the reality of your desire while releasing neediness sends a clean, coherent message. The field responds to resonance, not desperation. You are no longer signaling, "I hope this happens," but rather, "This is already done." That subtle shift in vibration activates possibilities that were previously inaccessible by practicing detachment alongside focused attention. You turn observation into active creation. You create a space where the quantum field can collapse possibilities into the reality you intend, effortlessly and powerfully. Detachment is the missing law many overlook, yet it is the cornerstone of the observer effect in real life manifestation. isn't about frantic effort or sporadic bursts of motivation. It's about consistent alignment to steady frequency of focus, emotion, and awareness that communicates clearly with the quantum field. Just as a radio station needs a constant signal to broadcast effectively, your observations and intentions require daily coherence. Occasional attention creates noise, and noise is not received. Consistency begins with small, intentional practices. Morning rituals, mindful pauses, journaling your intentions, or meditative visualization, these aren't magic tricks. They are tools to stabilize your nervous system, creating a state in which your energy is coherent. Coherence amplifies the observer effect because it removes internal contradictions. Your mind says, "I am ready." Your heart believes it, and your nervous system communicates safety and receptivity. When these elements align consistently, the field responds rapidly and in ways that feel effortless. Historical figures who mastered manifestation often unknowingly applied this principle. Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, and other innovators didn't rely solely on hard work. They cultivated habits, patterns, and mental states that aligned them with creative insight. Their results weren't random. They were the byproduct of consistent mental and emotional alignment. It's important to understand that alignment doesn't require perfection. It's not about eliminating every negative thought or emotion, but about returning quickly to coherence whenever distraction or doubt arises. Each return strengthens the signal you broadcast. Neuroscience confirms this through the concept of neuroplasticity. Repeated patterns of thought and behavior literally rewire the brain. By consistently practicing alignment, you train your system to naturally operate from higher frequency states where manifestation is almost automatic. Consistency also protects you from the pitfalls of over-effort. Many people push so hard that their bodies become locked in survival mode, flooded with stress hormones and broadcasting signals of lack rather than abundance. By focusing on regular, repeatable alignment practices, you reduce stress, expand your perception, and increase receptivity. The quantum field mirrors this calm, coherent energy, delivering results that reflect your steady, intentional focus rather than chaotic effort. Finally, consistency cultivates trust in the process. The more regularly you practice alignment, the less you need to check for outcomes, and the more effortlessly the field responds. You stop chasing results and start embodying your desired reality, allowing the observer effect to operate naturally.